All right, Kung Fu Yoga, a Chinese Indian slash action adventure slash comedy film that was directed by Stanley Tong and starring Jackie Chan, or Old Man Jackie Chan, as some people call him. The film was released in 2017, and it actually became the highest grossing film in China for Jackie Chan, which is also kind of interesting. Um, I am kind of torn on this film, to be honest. In some parts, was laughing out loud. In other parts, I was rolling my eyes. But I'll get into that in a little bit here. Let's go over the plot real quick. So, the gist of it is, well, when you hear the title, it's kind of like Kung Fu Yoga. Like, what the hell does that mean? Well, it actually refers to both Chinese and Indian cultures kind of clashing and mixing and learning from each other and stuff. So, the movie is, in essence, a like kind of a around the world treasure hunting Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider slash Uncharted Nathan Drake type experience, just with some kung fu and yoga references for some reason. So it stars Jackie Chan playing Professor Jack Chan. Yes, that's correct. And he teams up with an Indian professor from India, and they have to kind of track down this treasure that was lost throughout the years. Now, the movie kind of opens up with an interesting cinematic. It's all animated cinematic, which reminded me of like a PlayStation 3 game, which was kind of odd. But anyway, so they kind of team up. You get a lot of little side characters that don't really do much, and they kind of go along with Jackie Chan to find this treasure. Meanwhile, a descendant of one of the past bad guys, his son is now seeking the treasure for himself because he believes it's his. So he's the typical like bad guy out to follow the good guys, let them take you to the treasure and then steal it for himself kind of plot. So the plot really isn't too much. There is some very odd plot decisions where they either rush through something fast or they're all like laughing and having fun, and then it cuts to like something serious like a week later. Like it'll always be like 1 week later, and then the team's doing something else, and then like 1 week later the team's now in a different location doing something else. Like it's kind of fast and nonsensical in some places, but I'll get into that later. So the middle of the movie, they go to Dubai. They have this cool Dubai car chase. And then at the end, it kind of culminates in an underground ruins where Jackie Chan's like taking them through these traps and hazards and things. And it all kind of culminates at the end with a little fight. And then it ends in the most nonsensical but hilarious song and dance number. And I'm not going to spoil it further than that, but it is very left field. But you'll probably be laughing over how nonsensical it all was. So when I say I was torn about this film, I am in a few cases. So first I'll talk about the characters. So I don't have a problem with Jackie Chan. He's great. I don't have a problem with the villain either because he's kind of a typical villain except for the end. But the rest of the characters are just very forgettable. Like they're just kind of there for either like one laugh or just to fill up the screen for some reason. And they don't really go anywhere. They don't do much. They don't help out. They're all just kind of in the background or driving around and stuff. It is very weird. They almost had no point. The other thing I had an issue with was a lot of the CGI. Now, I don't know if this is just part of the production, but they crammed so much random CGI in this film, it kind of takes away some of the action scenes, to be honest. A few places where the intro, clearly it was all animated, everything looked weird. We had a CGI Jackie Chan, we had CGI villains, a big war. It was very Dynasty Warriors-esque. It was kind of crazy. Now, there were animals in the film, too. There was, I don't know if you guys saw the trailer, but there's a lion that's involved in a car with Jackie Chan. That whole lion is CGI, and it's very awkward watching, especially doing facial stuff and just moving around. Obviously, you can't have a real lion with Jackie Chan, but you know what I mean. Then there's also this hyena scene where a couple of the side characters are trapped in a hyena cage enclosure at the villain's, headquarters kind of thing. And it's weird because they took real shots of hyenas, but then anytime they were interacting with the hyenas, they switched to CGI. And you could clearly tell, almost shot for shot, what's a CGI hyena and what's a real hyena. And Oh, it's crazy. You just have to watch it. And then another part that bothered me was the car scenes. So there's a big car chase in Dubai, which is kind of cool because you don't really see Dubai too often in movies. But there's this big car scene, and at weird points when they're doing stunts or the cars are like flipping around or crashing, it's all just CGI. So it'll be like real cars, but then as soon as anything happens to the vehicle, it'll be like a CGI vehicle, and it's so awkward. It just takes away from the action and very awkward to watch. Or funny, whatever you want. So, what I did like about it, however, was a lot of the scenes, the locales. I liked the environments. I liked the different locations. The kung fu was pretty interesting too. And of course, Jackie Chan brings his comedic elements to it as well. However, a lot of the points with the CGI were very off. The ending was very weird and could either like it or hate it. But it was a very average and mixed film. So let me go over my review scores real quick here for you guys. So the story, kind of an above average story. Again, it did hold my attention, but not for the right reasons, I guess. So I have to rate it a 6. It was kind of above average, but I felt like because of the lack of things for the side characters to do and even have a purpose, it kind of hurt the film. And as well as it jumping all over the place and keeps time skipping because, for reasons. It was kind of weird. The music was below average. It was a 4. Kind of a typical action adventure style music, but I did feel like a lot of the background noise was just playing like random stuff that didn't really fit with fit with what was going on in the film. Now, the effects I had to rate just a 5. They were serviceable. Obviously, the CGI had a lot to be desired. Maybe that had to do with the production, or what they're used to using, like overseas and stuff. I'm not sure, but it looked bad, and in the worst cases, and even in the best of times, you could still pick it out pretty easily. However, the kung fu scenes and things, or wire works and things like that, it was all good. Nothing too bad, but it was all just kind of average in my opinion. The fighting, I rated a little bit higher. I rated a solid 7. Jackie Chan does a stellar performance. Each of the side characters is kind of just doing their own thing, even though Jackie Chan has like a side treasure hunter. It's supposed to be like his best friend's son or uncle, like his brother's son or something. I don't know. But he tries to like teach him kung fu a little bit and stuff, or he did know kung fu, and I don't know. It's just, they're not going to be as good as Jackie Chan, obviously. And so while the fighting is serviceable, it's just kind of also very, I don't know, average-ish. So that kind of gives us an overall score of a 6, and I would kind of believe that that's a good enough score for what the movie presented. Now, that doesn't mean the movie's bad. Like I said, it's kind of a hit and miss type movie. Like if you like Jackie Chan or Jackie Chan's older, when he's older and stuff, like some of his newer films, you'd probably like it. If you like action adventure romps, going through different locations, trying to find a treasure and having a good laugh at the same time, it's probably for you. However, all others, like if you're a hardcore Jackie Chan kung fu guy and you like all of his older stuff, you probably won't get much out of this film. And I think that's a little bit generous too, especially with all the horrible CGI. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, check it out or not. I'm very torn on this film.